and the rest of the Florida Gulf Coast.
That's right, Channing. We're going to review those watches that affect our region too. But just to let folks get up to date on the forecast track, it's been pretty consistent as far as the next day or two, but still some room for adjustment, if you will. But there's been an ongoing trend of the center of the hurricane likely moving closer to the west coast of Florida, the Sun Coast, Nature Coast region, Highway 19 corridor, and then moving over the interior of the North Florida Peninsula and the eastern Big Bend. That's the general thinking, but there can be some adjustment, and even just a little tweak of about 10, 20, 30 miles can make a huge difference. So the main thing you should remember as far as generalized effects go, pretty good impacts across the coastal zones. Not good in a positive sense, but more direct when it comes to higher surf, coastal flooding, a storm surge risk highest on the eastern shores of the Big Bend. And then inland effects will include heavy rain and some steady winds, even above 40 miles per hour, which would be tropical storm force. And it would not shock me if around the coastal bend we can maybe have some coast or offshore winds that can be, at least when it comes to gusts, they can be of hurricane force when we get the closest approach of Ian's center. So that's why there's a tropical storm watch, now including some adjacent offshore waters and the entire Big Bend coast. By Wednesday evening, there's a higher likelihood that we can have tropical storm force winds and gusts beginning to affect those coastal regions. This is a graphic that shows the probability of such. Lesser chances through Friday across the southwest Georgia corner for now. This will be adjusted with every new release of the National Hurricane Center forecast. Highest chances in the coast, offshore, and along the southeastern Big Bend. But again, these will likely increase as we go forward in time and increasing from south to north. Storm surge risk is highest along the eastern shores of the Big Bend, about 2 to 4 feet of water going above normal dry ground along Taylor County and points to the south, so you have a storm surge watch in effect for you. The front that's coming through tonight, which is what we've been talking about for several days now, will determine what kind of magnitude of a shift the storm can take towards the peninsula, or maybe a little bit more of a northerly course. The front will be pushing through. There's no doubt about that. We're seeing that taking place in southwestern Georgia right now. The front will kind of stall out across the Nature Coast and it will cause Ian to slow down. It kind of blocks its overall forward motion. So that's why there's such an intense high level of concern for areas along west central Florida and the coastline, Pinellas, Manatee, Sarasota, Pasco counties. As that front lingers and kind of gets more diffuse, the northern motion of Ian can resume. This may straddle the west coast, maybe just going inland, but overall the dry air coming in behind the front will start to be entrained within the system, and the upper level winds that brought the front to our region to begin with, they will be stronger. Those are the two main factors in weakening Ian when it has its closest encounter with our region. So just a broad sense of how things can play out. Wednesday night, more wind, rain approaching the coastal regions. Into Thursday, we'll see a shield of rain that starts to push across, especially the eastern 2/3 of the region. And with that will come some steadier winds, mostly from the northeast and east, and they can be kind of gusty. Wave of rain likely having a broader effect across the region on Friday. And then into Saturday morning, we'll see this system start to push out with some lingering cloudiness. And rain totals, they will be hefty, especially where we see the closest approach of the eye and some indications of rain totals that can maybe exceed 10 inches in the lower Swanee Valley. Flooding is going to be a big issue, but we do see that sharp cutoff between lesser amounts to the west and highest amounts to the southeast. So that's going to be a core point that we're going to be focusing in on with our analysis from here on out. Just which areas can get the highest rain and wind effects. It's definitely expected to occur, broadly speaking, Thursday and Friday before conditions improve. So you still have some time to make those preparations if you choose to do that, because the weather tomorrow is looking pretty good, especially near the coast.